Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. I don't know if you can hear me. Hi. Hi, my loves. Hey, 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 hey. I was running into technical difficulties. Hey, babes. What's good, Queen Shar? What's good, CEO woman? What's good, everybody coming in? Hey, 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 hey. I was having technical difficulties with my sound. Thank you for the gifts, my love. I got a very interesting thing that we're gonna check out today. What's good, Project Execute? If you have been paying attention and listen, you might think like, well, what does that have to do with astrology or tarot? But we got a lot going on with constitutional crises. You've been going through it. I need you to pay attention today, okay? Because as above, so below, right? So what's happening in the grand scheme is also happening, what's good, unicorn, in our personal lives. There's going to be upheaval, mad upheaval this weekend. This weekend. Okay? Some form of information that we all need to move forward is going to be brought to the forefront between Friday and Sunday. Some of us have already received it. Like I think I got the first part today, right? So it could be good and bad. It depends on how you receive it. Okay? It depends on how you receive it. It depends on what you can do with it. It depends on what you have done in the past, okay? And what the work that you've done to shift those things. So today's an important one. Now, for those of you that have been with me for a while, I've been saying, like, you know, we got a lot going on probably all the way to about July. Okay? This weekend, we have Mercury and Uranus holding hands. They're going to be at the same degree. Baby. Okay, so let me explain. We got to back up. Let me take a sip of coffee because it's a lot to... Uranus is like at the 27th degree, 28th degree. It's at its last of its last. Okay. It's been in Taurus since 2018. Hasn't been there before in like 84 years. It's like it's not in your lifetime, basically. Okay. So we're going to experience what happens when Mercury and Uranus stand in the same place in the sky. Okay. Now, the last time I guess Mercury and Uranus were kind of sort of together like this was supposedly 1989. Yes, when I was pregnant with my first son. Okay. So that'll give you a picture of what happened. But I believe it might have been in another sign, or it happened in a retrograde, so it wasn't fully in its energy. Okay? So, with that being said, that's what we're fitting to have. Now, last weekend, what we had was the Sun and Uranus at that same degree. That's why it was already like this tension buildup. So whatever you're experiencing now, Like you said, Queen Shar, you got a lot going on. That was, oh, you see a yellow bird? Ashe, right? So that was probably highlighting to you the sun is illuminating something that has to be dealt with. Okay, today we're not doing signs, but we will be discussing a lot of what is happening to the signs, a lot of what you should be looking for here. I'm gonna just pause and say this. What's good, Tawanda? What's good, everybody coming in? What's good, Susanna? All right, you follow me, you're gonna learn so much about astrology, and more so about how to kind of read the tea leaves for yourself. Okay, so Susanna, you're saying you're in Aquarius and Pluto's in Aquarius. So that's a 20-year cycle. Okay, now you got to think, what's a fixed sign? Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. So these are the 4 signs that's going to feel it the most, because it's like a cross in the sky. Okay, so where's Taurus? Where's Uranus? In Taurus. So what's that causing? A square for you? It may not be exactly at the degree, but it's still up in there. Right? Only you know your chart, so you need to look at your chart and see where that is. But here's a clue for all of you. Instead of me trying to pick at each and every individual, I want to teach you how to fundamentally use this information for yourself. You could be one sun sign, like I'm a Taurus, but you're also going to have a rising sign, which determines, where's my chart? Where's my wheel? I have a beginner's course. Y'all can go to my website and book with me, but right? You have the wheel that determines what time of day you were born. It's going to determine your rising sign. So at that point, see, I'm not going to do individual ones. I need you guys to listen so you can understand, right? So she's saying she knows her information. Panini, she's saying I'm a Libra rising, right? So if I'm going to give you an example, if the chart always starts with Aries, okay? And then you're a Libra rising. So I'm putting Libra in the chart of Aries, first house. Then what you need to do is look where Taurus is, right? Which would be in your 8th house. It's going to affect your money through other people, taxes, right? This is like after, like, let's say you were in a long-term commitment, right? This is like what has developed from that. That's death and rebirth house. Okay, this could be like after you financially burn something down and then now you're coming out on the other side, right? So what I'm telling you is find out where, if you're a Leo rising, okay, you're already having a square. You're going to have a square regardless because it's also a fixed sign. Plus, you're also having a face-off with Pluto. Of course, you're having a rough time. Okay? Miss Lotus Wisdom. Now, what's good, honey? Now, let me just say, with that, pressure bust pipes, yes, but it also makes diamonds. So that's what I said in the beginning about what you use the energy for. Okay? Now, we kind of gotten a little off course because what we're going to talk about today will be more world events, but we're going to be talking about the energy that's coming, and that shit hits you too. So even when we're talking about like a bigger situation, that energy is in your chart too. Okay, so get your, do your own chart so that you can know where that shit is hitting. It's going to hit the house that it's in, plus the house that it would be in your chart. So for instance, the normal house of Taurus, which is where Uranus is, and that's what we're discussing at this moment, is the second house. So or automatically it's talking about what you value, your money, right? That's the basis of the conversation. But wherever Taurus fell in your birth chart, whether it's the 8th house, the 6th house, the 7th house, the 11th house, it's going to adopt aspects of that house too. So when you look at the two meanings of the houses that Taurus is in your chart, where it is presently versus where it is in your birth chart, you're going to know where it's going to be in your situation. Do you understand? What's good, Mel? What's good, everybody? Mrs. Mo. Okay. So that way you know what you're listening to. So last weekend, we had the sun, okay, standing with Uranus, squaring Pluto. Does that make sense? That is illuminating some shit that we have to look at, all right? And that we're forced to look at. Because if we don't look at it, right, it's death and transformation, wherever Pluto is, right? And where is Pluto in Aquarius, right? In the masses, in community, in humanity, in the internet. And we're going through all these changes, okay? So it's going to, as above, so below. As it's happening to the collective, it's happening to you, okay? So now, this weekend, we will have Mercury standing with Uranus squaring Pluto. You got it? I think it'll be squaring Mars too. That's a lot of fucking energy. Not for nothing. These are make or break points. Okay? These are things that you're forced to, last week, forced to see. This week, forced to hear or communicate. Why? Mercury is communication. Text, email, voice, right? All forms of communication. Uranus, change through chaos. Whatever Uranus brings is permanent, right? Like, you're not going back to that. Think about who you were in 2018. It's almost like that person don't exist no more. Okay? So, and in that house of Taurus, what was it teaching you? What you value, how you make money. If that was in alignment with what you value, like, in other words, you could have been working a 60-hour work week, making 6 figures, right? And said, I don't want to live like this no more, right? Because it happened during COVID, right? So in COVID, what did we learn, right? We had to stay home, and then we stood home and we were like, oh, why are we doing half the shit we do? We're just doing it on autopilot. It's not making us happy, right? What's good, divine leaders, right? So when you get to the point of being in detachment and being able to see, right? That's what Uranus did for us. Now we can't go back and unsee it, correct? Right? So it's going to be moving into Gemini, I think in July. We got Jupiter moving, I think it might be next week. Okay, but I know that by the 7th, it's in Cancer. Okay, so we have a lot. You finally caught a live? Yes. We got so much going on energetically. So what are we gonna do today? We're gonna talk about that, but in reference to what is happening. Hey, Renee, come on in. So we're going to talk about what's happening in the sky, but also how that affects us, like politically, globally, and yet how that also reflects in our own personal life. And you know that we always start off with the general energy, so we know how to combat what's coming at us. What's good, Madeline? All right, so that's where we're going to start. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to start with the general energy for the collective and how we should be trying to prepare ourselves. Like I said, Mercury and Uranus this weekend, babes. Okay, strap your boots on. Good morning. Okay, because this really could be, you could get a message, a phone call. I want very careful travel, Memorial Day weekend, okay? It can be, absolutely. Listen, I find that Uranus changed through chaos, but it leaves you better, right? But it's also a 9-year. For those of you in the ATRs, that's Oya energy, right? That's also kind of like Uranus energy, to be quite fucking frank. All right, so they both have some "but did you die" energy. But did you die? You asked for change. Well, I gave you the change. You never said it was going to come in all smooth and sweet and shit. Right? That's basically what we've been dealing with. Thank you for the gifts, my loves. Right, we're rising above. So listen, when you come to it with that mentality that you're gonna rise above no matter, what end of the stick you get. And especially that Saturn is getting ready to go into Aries like any day now. I gotta look it up, but right, what is this saying? This is saying that how you deal with stuff, how you get after it, how you show up, okay, is gonna directly impact your outcome. This isn't gonna be the season from here to, I feel like, July, okay? Go hard. Good morning, Christy. Go hard, okay? This isn't the time to I'll get to it later. Nah, Saturn's going to kick your ass, okay? And Saturn will be in Aries for roughly about, let me see, I think it's a year and a half. I was trying to let this phone charge. Saturn in Aries dates. I can't remember them all. Okay, so May 24th. So it starts on Friday. Okay, this is also the same time that, like I said, Uranus and Mercury will be, together, right? At that degree. And you're traveling this weekend and next. Okay, so I just want you to know that's happening as Mercury and Uranus will be at the same degree basically all weekend. So that's going to bring a lot of shock and awe in communication. Okay? In communication. And divine leaders, I would say that with that combination and traveling, you need to give yourself time on either side. Saturn, give yourself time, Saturn, on either side for delays, for rerouting, for listening to Mercury and knowing, like, okay, I have to shift because they said this. So, all right, I'm not going to get pissed off. I'm going to just do my Saturn work, shift time, shift things, and be proactive. Okay, promise. If you go into it like that, you're gonna fare much better. If you go in it all frazzled, you're gonna come back like, oh my goodness. Okay, so important. Give yourself time on both sides, and do not let the energy get away from you. Okay, so what we got out here? Water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Okay, you're not alone, isolation, physical connection, and community. I'm going to read them both, then we're going to get into the tarot because we're going to see. I'm sure y'all. Let me just hold off for a second. No, let's read them first, and then we're going to get into what's good, Jennifer Boyd. What are your garden? 120. Listen, it's like I already said, it's going to be a lot of shock and awe. We're already in overload. We've been in overload since January, correct? All right. Lots of water, taking breaths in between, relaxing, right? Staying calm. Mad important right now. Mad important right now. Okay. Eat a healthy meal. Try to get some sleep. Why? Because everything is fucking stressful. I'm not going to hold you, tell you that it's not. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, it's just so great. Listen, I feel like by the end of the summer, we're going to fare much better, but we got a lot going on right now. Okay? Earth is a seasonal planet, and as such, you're a seasonal being, cyclic. You can't be on and in full bloom month after month, day after day after day. You're strongly being called to put up on the brakes, rest and refuel. Take a moment to restock and replenish and slow right on down. Your body is the only body you're given, and it needs to be respected as such. You're being called to take responsibility for your well-being, to put your health and body first. I know it can feel like time is running out and as if there are urgent things that simply can't wait. However, if you keep pushing on, soon fatigue will set in. This way of living isn't sustainable. If anyone continues to race through life, eventually they will reach exhaustion, and it will take longer to recover than it would have done to rest. Immune system disorders and mystery illnesses become more common because we're putting too much pressure on our bodies to keep up with instantaneous pace of modern life. How are you being called to put on the brakes, to rest, to restore, to rejuvenate? When was the last time you took a holiday or had a full weekend day or afternoon off? Look after your precious body and mind. Give yourself enough time to recover when you find yourself running on your reserves. There's enough time. Life will bend toward you when you do. Star Soul Inquiry. What is your body yearning for? Okay, so what is Spirit saying? Spirit is basically saying that we are being inundated with stress. And there may be times when you don't necessarily have the flexibility to go ahead and check out or not show up for work. Okay, but what you can do is try to minimize how these outward interferences are coming in. Okay, so let's say you stay at home working, breaks in between. Let's say you got to go to a job, maybe a little less social, social media, so that way you're not getting it there too, right? Book a massage, go for a walk, drink a relaxing tea. Find ways to slow down so that when it's time to move, when I move, you move, just like that, right? Saturn, because Saturn in Aries is going to compel us to go after the bag, to go after the growth because opportunities are coming. Jupiter likes being in Cancer. Okay? And that's going to be for a year. So there's going to be opportunities, but Cancer also talks about emotional health, right? So the moon, right? So taking advantage of opportunities. Aries with Saturn and Neptune. The Neptune will give you the idea, the dreamy idea, but Saturn says, but what did you do with it? Right? So if you're constantly burnt out, you won't be able to avail yourself of all the knowledge and the things that are coming in. So this is why breaks are going to be important. Next card, you're not alone. The older the soul, the deeper the cave. Many star seeds and old souls enjoy their own company. Spending time alone can be comforting and necessary for their vitality, as it allows them to commune with their soul and fill up the energetic resources, especially if they have an underactive or open root chakra or find it hard being human. Many star seeds find it more nourishing to retreat than to spend their time in meaningless conversations. And relationships, however, we must remember that we're not here to go about this life alone. Humans are pack animals, and we all need love, companions, and support of others, both emotionally and physically. In our increasing online world, we can be connected to more people and yet feel more alone and isolated than ever. There's still so much we don't know about the energetic side effects of things like social media, with so many people knowing our news. What is it doing to our auric field? Commonly, we find ourselves in constant conversation, yet lacking the genuine connection of physical community and touch. The main message of this card is to step out of your cave and physically reach out to those in your life, to replenish when you need to, but not isolate yourself. This could be seeing friends and family who live nearby, or having a regular catch-up walk with someone. In what ways can you open yourself to the people who are physically in your life, those you truly know? Starseed Soul Inquiry. How can you reach out to people in your life physically? And that is important. I will say, though, some people may not be in a place where they can be around others physically, or their circle has not evolved. And so we have a wonderful group, okay? In my Patreon, we're like a family, and we constantly chatting on the backside, okay? Avail yourself of that. Okay, because those people have access to me basically 24 hours. Okay, I have to sleep, but yes, I do answer. Okay, and certain levels have different things. Like certain levels have one free question a month, right? Plus we do breaking news weekly. There's different groups. I'm not going to spend the time, but really, if you're in need of support and looking for people with like-minded, you want to check it out. Okay. All right. So let's get into what the fuck is happening, because it's going to reflect what I was just talking about. Well, if you saw, 12 individuals got deported to Sudan. They're not even from there. Okay. They're not even from there. So what's that about? Basically, harshness, authoritarianism, things that are negative towards the collective are being utilized to strike fear to hold power. Are being utilized to strike fear to hold power. Why? Because the demographic, okay, is changing. Why? And that explains why they brought in people of a particular background from South Africa, because they're trying to import whiteness for fear of indigeneity. You have that going on. What's good, Patah? What's good, Yesenia? Hey, everybody coming in, right? So fear of the other. So we've got that going on. We've got the court told them that they have to keep track of those people. They can't just drop them off over there. Now, mind you, there's like they're on a precipice of a civil war, so put them in the danger zone, right? You got the Supreme Court hearing birthright citizenship and habeas corpus, which is basically whether or not you deserve to have the right to a judge, right? Or if you could just be thrown in jail indefinitely. So we've got all this shit going on, right? We still don't have Abrego Garcia back, right? They're trying to pass $880 billion Medicaid cut so that the wealthy can have more. I'm not kidding. I wish I were. Right? They just finished telling us that prices are going to jump because of the tariffs. That was a man-made problem. Right? And I don't know if you heard, but they're already trying to accuse the new Pope of some shit. And I think, personally, that they did that because, certain communities were claiming him. So now they're going to try to mar him. Because before that happened, what they were saying was that his grandfather was Sicilian. Do they say that about every pope? Or only because they was talking about his grandmama was born in Haiti and that? Okay, so they were basically trying to give a certain segment of society a reason to feel comfortable standing behind him, as if him being the Pope isn't enough. But if you really believe, then you just, I'm not saying that that is what I necessarily believe. But what I'm saying is, if that's the head of your church, then that's the head of your church, ain't it? Isn't that supposed to be the representation? So why is this one rubbing y'all wrong? Because what? Because he is passing? Anyway, I would like to see what Spirit wants us to know about all the shit that's possible to pop off. Invite you to co-host. Leg day. Shall we try it? No. I'm going to take it. Yeah. Patreon. Oh, yes. She's putting the Patreon in the chat for you guys in YouTube. What's up, Afro Spiritual? Nah, right here, because I don't want to get thrown off. You know what I'm saying? Spirit. Honor. Ultimatum at the bottom of the deck. The pursuit of honor has led to inflated stories and distorted truths. You place your worth in others' hands, allowing reputation to overshadow authenticity. So first off, right? And listen, don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. Right? Americanism has become tainted, or patriotism has become tainted by fanaticism. Okay? By a segment of society that feels that they have the right to rebrand what patriotism looks like, and they have wrapped it in a Confederate flag with a red hat. And you have to be uneducated Okay? And you can't believe facts. And you have to follow people blindly. And that's what they want to name as an honor. Okay? When we have always known and been taught and raised that people who are really humble and heroic are really doing things for others, not for themselves. Okay? At the bottom of the deck, we have activates during emergencies and signals imminent action. Ooh. Triggers alerts and prompts quick decision making. Imposes an irrevocable choice with severe consequences. Okay, gang, Friday, because the Supreme likes to drop shit on Fridays. They're going to drop their thing on Friday. I feel like when they drop this thing, he's going to be infuriated. He's already trying to talk about impeachment of judges, and Roberts came forward and was like, you know what? That is part of the fabric of the nation. Okay? False flame is under that. You see how they're gonna fucking bump heads. Okay? Puts you on an emotional roller coaster and causes distress. Okay, so they're gonna be wilding this weekend. Okay? Partnership hinders your progress and creates obstacles. Intentions are unclear and makes you feel insecure. I feel like his reaction to the Supreme Court, because I feel like the Supreme Court gave him the Venezuela thing, but they gave him the right to deport Venezuelans so that they could spank him on the birthright citizenship. Okay. And so they were trying to soften the blow. And I feel like when they go up against him, his reaction, he's going to do something rash, abrasive, severe. That's what Spirit is saying. And then the card after that, because it was false flame and twin flame. Okay. So I feel like souls maturing separately to bring deeper wisdom upon reunion, growing in parallel dimensions destined and intersect again, evolving separately to become a whole individual. Okay, so first off, I feel like certain people that have been in alignment with certain things that he's been talking about, there's going to be like a clash. There's a clash coming. This clash almost has to happen so that way the collective can start to reunite on one page. Okay? Social mask. Wearing a mask to hide true emotions and avoid vulnerability. Offering surface smiles to hide deeper pain. Okay? I think that's why Spirit is saying that we're going to need to take a rest. Okay? Shit might not be such light and fluffy because it feels like something is about to cause distress. But even though the distress is coming, there's a gift. I think the gift is the reaction. I think the gift has something to do with how we as a collective respond to something. You know, I was thinking about Mars, and Mars being, you know, it was in Leo, and it being opposite of Pluto. And I feel like this is going to be a very, and you know, okay, so I said to you guys before that in Aries, we're about to have Saturn there, right? Neptune's already there, right? So I feel like this is a year, and I believe Venus is there right now. She'll be going into Taurus shortly, right? So right now, there's a lot of Mars energy. With that being said, it's not our regular Mars energy. No? Right? Think about other times that we've been under pressure and not even half like this. And we've been in the motherfucker streets. What? Right? But there's an inherent like knowledge that's coming from our DNA that's telling us that we need to do it in a different way this time. Aquarius, right? Aquarius, making us do things differently for humanity. What is the ruler of Aquarius? Saturn. Time. So we're like biding our time, watching the situation, using other methods to combat oppression. Other methods, financial methods, Taurus, Uranus, waging a different type of war, combat. Who rules Taurus? Venus. Who's her partner? Mars. Twin flame activate. Wonder powers. Let's jump this motherfucker. You see? The energy is of battling something in a different way than we normally have. Okay? It's not the normal way that we come at shit. And it's purposeful. It's wild shit. But it's listen, it's going down. Okay? All right. Let's get some tarot. Let's see what Spirit wants to tell us about the situation at large, how it's going to affect us, what the hell's going on, what we should be expecting. Okay? And listen, anything that you see happening in the collective, it's happening to you. You just need to figure out how. Find the correlation of what's happening in the sky and then look at those houses in your chart. I promise you, you'll find it. If you want to learn more about that, you can always take my Wisdom of the 12 Houses. Okay? Spirit. Can you show me, please? And with that, you'll get, I have to find them where they are, but you'll get one of those mini charts if you take Wisdom of the 12 Houses with me. I know they're in here. Spirit, show me. It's upside down. All right, we got the Six of Wands, the Sun. Somebody wants their motherfucking way so bad, it's killing them. Almost literally. Be careful. We're having plantations and museums, Confederate museums falling out and shit. You gotta be careful. There's an energy. Don't be too pushy. And it's probably A minor. Okay, so first off, Mars is getting ready to go into Cancer, I believe. Let me look up those dates. Is it there? I know Jupiter is getting ready to go in there. That's January. No, it's not going into Cancer. It's going into Virgo, right? Sorry. When is it going into Virgo? My apologies. Virgo dates. Well, they don't just want to put it. Jesus Christ. It's this month. It may have already happened. So it's a trine. Okay. That means even more that okay, so May 16th, I believe it may have moved on. Okay, so that would mean that the more prepared you are, what's good, Miss Thornton, the more list taking, calculated you're going to be. Both Taurus and Virgo, very calculating signs. Don't get it fucked up, okay? The more success you'll have. But everything that also means that everything that is happening is also being calculated by the opposition, okay? Let's get a deck to, yeah, let's use this one. Light Seers Tarot with Horror Tarot. This one's going to spaz out and needs to be careful about a health issue. A health issue because he be getting riled up. Spirit, why is this Six of Wands here? 12. So we have here the Six of Wands with the Knight of Wands. This is a lot of wanting to be seen. Okay, Knight of Wands is like, you know, fiery. The peacock. Somebody wants to peacock a win. They're mad because obey, I said. Queen of Wands. I feel like this woman, she could be the Newark congressperson that is being held right now. Okay, I feel like that was a bad idea. They may hold her through the weekend. Okay, the sun. Okay, somebody's getting ready to bring a lot of noise. It's probably Booker. Okay, I think Booker wants to run for president. Okay. He may end up being VP. The sun with the Eight of Wands. Some news is coming out. Something unexpected about not having enough. I feel like Big Red is threatening something. Okay. If you don't know who Big Red is, he's the one that pulls the strings behind the orange one, if you understand. I think he's threatening him. Now he's the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. And I feel like this Queen of Swords is not the wife, but the daughter. I feel like this thing is damning to both of them. Three of Cups, Spirit, why? I feel like Johnson, the leader of the house, the leader of the pack, broom, 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 broom. He's being paid, or he's having to pay people, or what I mean by that is like pay Rob Peter to pay Paul. Like he's gotten to make a lot of fucking deals. Okay. I feel like there's somebody watching. I always feel like somebody's watching me and I have no privacy. Oh, I feel like who's watching him is somebody that is directed by Big Red. Right? If you see, there is a wolf. That wolf feels like, Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf, the big bad wolf, okay? And there's somebody watching him all the time. He has to be so careful about what he says because they want to listen. They're like, you worried about some rumors about Grindr? We got the videos. We got the things, allegedly. We got the things. So do what I said. Although he may not know that the wolf is not at the behest of the old one, but more at the behest of Big Red. See, because now he's in for a pound, in for a penny. So where's he going to go? It doesn't matter. And so this is why Spirit reminds us that when it ties into ourselves, it ties into ourselves because if we're trying to get around something, it's going to bite us and we're going to find ourselves in a situation. If we are proactive and standing on the right side of things, we may actually get breakthroughs. So that's why it depends on how you are showing up in your individual situation. Two of Cups, alliances. Somebody's listening. Okay, there's a woman here. She's giving information in some way behind the back. Page of Swords, because something's supposed to be blocked or something's not supposed to be heard. And the Knight of Pentacles, and it's taking a long time to get this individual back. Okay, with the King of Wands, okay, and the Four of Pentacles. It may happen in another way. So what I'm seeing here is that they are slow rolling, bring this person back because they don't want this person to get upset about the fact that he's back. But the dude who owns Setpat, what's his name? Puleke, whatever the hell his name is, right? The ICC or the World Court or somebody, is it the UN, is holding the purse strings of a lot of money that they want, okay? And so for them to get that money, he has to comply, or at least look like he's trying to comply, okay? So you have here the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords. Yeah, you want me to keep him out, but it's more of a fucking pain in my ass and a headache for me. 10 of Cups, I'm gonna reunite him. Okay, so you don't want him to reunite there? Well, we're gonna reunite him in some fucking way. Venezuela, Mexico. We're gonna find a way, because there's 3 5s and a 10 of Cups. Okay, baby? The Tower. Buleke, right? Okay, so that's coming. It's like they got to do one thing to avoid the other, but then the other, he's got to look out for himself, because Buleke is part of like the ICC, so they will hold his money back. So even though the US isn't, right? Hold on just there. Even though they're not, okay, just the fact that he is makes him vulnerable to his money being held back. So that's one. Then when we did the Alien Enemies Act, because the ICC controls war crimes or wartime cases, right off top, it gave them jurisdiction even if we weren't members. So it wasn't well thought out to begin with, especially not working with the partnership of somebody else. Now, here's a good question. Is the Sudan in the ICC? Is that why he's picking them? Because they're not part of it? The 7 of Cups is here, Spirit. Why? Seven of Cups, illusions, the Queen of Wands. Okay, the World. She may get out and yet have some kind of legal battle. Page of Cups that ends up maybe getting dismissed in the long run. Ace of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, 6 of Cups. I feel like this is a lot of rejoicing over here. Let's get another deck. Let's clear out some of this. Let's see what else they want to tell us about what are some of the surprises that we could expect this weekend. Spirit. Okay. So I see some kind of fire. This could be like a factory, or I don't know why I'm hearing Amazon Center, but it doesn't have to be an Amazon Center. It could be like a big factory or something. Okay. Okay, this could be the beginnings of like wildfires or something. Spirit, can you show me? What else? Ace of Pentacles. Manifesting your material goals. If you've been on top of your shit, this is the time to take action towards things that you want. Maybe not make major purchases, but this could be like getting things in order to do so. Okay, I also feel like the reason why we shouldn't make big purchases this weekend is because there could be some shift in finances. We already had a downgrading. Okay, this could be something about money not going as far. 5 of Pentacles crossed. 2 of Wands. Are you prepared for your journey? This feels like there's some choices. I want to also mention, Spirit just showed me a tunnel, so I got to say this. So we're getting rid of certain individuals because we say that they gang members. So the gang members, we don't want the gang members, obviously. Okay, so that's the premise. But then we announced that we were going to sell citizenship at 5 million, right? Okay, all right. Maybe that's particular type of people. We'll put that over there. And then we brought over refugees from South Africa that were a particular skin color, but not other people. We're getting rid of them. Okay, all right. But then the news dropped that one of the people who's been given an agreement, which I have a feeling that the agreement is not 5 million, but more, for El Chapo's son to come into the United States. I'm not kidding. So I guess you just have to be a particular cartel. I'll leave that there. Six of Pentacles comes out. The Star. The Nine of Pentacles. The Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Knight of Swords underneath that in the Strength card. Double crossing, double crossing, double crossing at the bottom of the deck. Spirit, can you show me, please? Why the Ace of Pentacles is here. Seven of Swords with the Hierophant. There's a deception around money or what was done with money. Okay? I feel like they find a way to make it go through the House, that $880 billion dollar cut. I feel like it doesn't go through the Senate, but let's see. Spirit. Five of Pentacles. Why? Five of Pentacles, left out in the cold, Queen of Swords and King of Swords. I don't know when Omar Obrega's birthday is, but this could be them being reunited elsewhere. Okay. I don't know, but it could be Mexico. Two of Wands with the Eight of Swords. It's a prison of our own making. And it has been that because we let, fake news and things get so out of control that we find ourselves in these places and spaces and being led by the least of us. And now we're dealing with the consequences of that. I also feel like this Eight of Swords and this Two of Wands is giving, again, Mike Johnson and some deals that he's made, and now it's time to pay the piper. Okay, I also feel like something, maybe a conversation, a hot mic conversation is going to come out, okay? Lovers, about some choices and some things that... Okay, I'm also getting something about Marjorie Taylor Greene and her being pissed off about something, allegedly. Okay. Six of Pentacles, Spirit. Why is that here? With the Queen of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Swords. A mother, someone not faring well. Six of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. I feel like there's some kind of instability, or they will paint that. Try to paint that. Some instability with the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like Spirit has just changed the situation. This might be how something is left over the weekend with the case against Diddy. It may not be Cassie, could be a different feminine. They're trying to paint her very negatively. Two of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. This could be his assistant. This could be the part of the thing where they start discussing her and how she was basically controlling or betraying other women for money. It could also come out that she was personally involved with him too, and that it just wasn't the money, but that some weird love thing, like a corrupted one. Okay? And I've said to you guys before, y'all need to be paying attention to any women who are defending this right now. We're not talking about the men and why they might see some aspects or things. I'm talking about the women. Women hearing these conversations and defending. I saw one chick that was like in tears this morning over him, which is crazy work to me right now. First off, you don't even know this person personally, individually. And it says a lot about your mental health. If you're out here crying on the behalf of the abuser, that needs to be psychologically examined. I'm dead ass. Okay? It's one thing, I'm all for spirituality, but there is certain things that, is like psychosis, okay? Star. With the Seven of Cups, okay? And this is just like alliance to powerful masculinity and feeling like it has to be the leader of the pack, right? And that's why they're mentally like destroyed, and it has something to do with their love life or what happened to them, and them being not just like, the pick-me-sha, but like these are the same individuals that can say, "What's good, Akani? Hey, honey. Thank you, babes." These could be the same feminines that could say that they are pro people of color, yet laud oppression against them. Okay? Or speaking on behalf of him, like I said, crying over him and how he's being done an injustice. Meanwhile, everybody saw the tape of her get her ass whooped in the hallway of that hotel. So if we see women in that mind frame, we need to really think about what has transpired in that person's life. I'm not kidding. Nine of Pentacles, Spirit. Nine of Pentacles comes out with the Page of Pentacles crossed, okay? Our inability to like decolonize our minds, to not be a slave to the system or whatever, closes off the fact that we can't do it, and that it closes off our opportunities, right? It means that there's still a segment of society, of women, regardless of race or economic background, that believes that they can only move throughout this world if a man is leading them. Okay, Knight of Swords, and they will hurt the progress of that, because you have to understand, even if you believe that yourself, it's not all men. There's going to be in that hierarchy, there's a separate hierarchy. You can't believe in one without believing in the other, right? And this is born on the plantation. I'm so sorry. Listen, either you can understand what I'm saying, or I'm not the reader or the spiritualist for you. Hangman. Until as a collective, okay, we take this and understand this within our own communities, but also within the European communities. Okay? Because you can't be enlightened and believe that a segment of society should be beholden to another segment. Then you are believing in an illusion, and then there's some kind of mental psychosis going on, and it's not spirituality. Okay? Five of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. Right? So if hearing a minority say that what's blocking us is that we can't do away with the hierarchy that was imposed upon us when we were brought as slaves or abducted, and that offends you, then you're part of the fucking problem. What's good, Jennifer LaRoe? What's good? Sunshine is my therapy. Okay, so you got the Five of Swords and the Four of Cups. Because in theory, it sounds good. We all want to be nice. I'm a nice person, right? Until it means that, whether you're Christian or otherwise, and you got to open your good book and be kind to your neighbor. But when that neighbor doesn't look like who you think it should look like, and you want to rescind that, then you're a hypocrite. Let's get a closing message. But Spirit is saying there's going to be a lot of wild breaking news this weekend. How do we stand together? Can you give us a message on how we should respond to all of this upheaval that could be imposed upon us this weekend? Mercury and Uranus and Taurus. Okay. You got two. Dadiri, hearing truth. This is going to require us not to look away. Some harsh things are going to be exposed. Can we finally decide that we're going to hold each other's hands and look directly at the seed of the problem? Because we keep trying to look away and it's giving room for hate. Dadiri, hearing truth. There's a deeper truth that shall bring peace to your heart, offering you guidance, comfort, and renewal. You are guided to turn within for your ancestors. Do not allow another do not allow another to interrupt, influence, or distort your personal trusting relationship with the divine. Allow spirit to be your highest counsel always, and you shall never be led astray. You shall know the words to speak and the consciousness to hold, to evoke healing and set things right. Listen, for deep within, truth is known. Also, for those of you who are not familiar with the stars, okay, Algol, which is the Medusa off with your head star, is also right by Uranus. So meaning they're all going to be, it's going to, listen, I said to you guys, we could hear about some more politicians. I said that on Monday, right? Was it Monday or Friday? Okay. I feel like one isn't even a politician. It feels like a leader. But anyway, there's more to come. Okay. And somebody should watch their temper, because they hear bad news and then they go on a texting spree, and they could pop a blood vessel if you're catching what I'm saying. Especially if the Supreme Court goes against them. I release from my ears on all levels, physical, electrical, and spiritual. Wow, it's so weird. Spirit picked this card when I talked about Uranus and Mercury, right? And the electrical or the communication, right? So I'm going to read the prayer again. I release from my ears on all levels, physical, electrical, and spiritual, anything that is not of the divine. I release all lies and criticisms. I release all pain. I soften and let go so that my ears can become empty and ready to receive the healing comfort of the great and beloved spirit. I invite the truth of unconditional love, divine guidance, and sacred silence now. Okay? All on my love. Okay? So I feel like we're being called to transmute, hold space for something that can set us on the path of newness, even in all the chaos. Okay. And we have Diamond Tiger of the Black Moon. Second chances bring success. Your soul is on the diamond path of spiritual growth. You may feel pressured by life at times, but at a higher level, those challenges are helping you realize your true strength of character. You have the personal will, fortitude, and physical power that you need for success, no matter what has happened in the past. You are the developing spirit, passion, and vitality to fight like a tigress, defending her cubs. Believe in yourself. Create dignity and strength are in your heart. Okay, so I feel like, first of all, in the beginning, I said to you guys that there was that pressure busts pipes, but it also makes diamonds. Okay, and so if you can find ways to get through this, let's say next 3 weeks, and find healthy ways to decompress while staying on top of the things you need to handle, you're going to fare very well. Okay? I call upon the Divine Mother's gifts of the tiger medicine for my body, mind, and soul through unconditional love, divine mercy, and ancient wisdom. I honor the empowerment of strength, vitality, courage, and truth. I invite this energy to flow within my body, mind, and soul through divine grace so that I may be ready for the path ahead. Freed from the past with compassion and blessed in this moment with the joy of simply being alive. Through divine love and my own free will, so be it. Okay? So we need to detach in some way from what we are witnessing Okay, I also feel like, and I said this to you guys, we're already in the beginning of the end of this circumstance. It feels like it's gonna go in flames. I feel like the Supreme Court decision is going to trigger a set of events. And this particular person could respond in a way that he can't take back, and yet it catapults us to a new timeline, and that new timeline feels like it is rupturing a story that has been imposed upon us for too long. And maybe had individuals been willing to share humanity and commonality, this could be avoided. But I feel like, hence, someone's desire to be seen as right will hasten an outcome that they wanted that is now going to backfire in some way. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. I just want to say thank you to you guys for spending a little time with me. I will be back tomorrow. We will discuss more things. I feel like this week is going to be wild, so you're going to see me around. All right, guys. Bye. Bye, my loves.